Hi, this is Renata from Scalp Amplify Studios. I have a beautiful client today. We have been discussing hair loss in women, which is not as common as hair loss in men. And even if it is, it's a little taboo subject. A lot of women are not talking about it. They're very ashamed. It's just easier for women, I guess, to camouflage it with different fibers. Sprays. We know how to work with makeup, so I think women are a little bit more creative than men are. Like I said, nobody talks really about it. And when women notice that they're losing their hair, it becomes very shocking, right?
Yeah. Denial.
Denial.
So you put it off.
Tell me a little bit more about the story that you went through.
I started noticing like thinning in my 20s, but because I have such curly hair, it was always just easy to style over top of it, and you don't really want to think about it, especially as a woman. So I really just honestly put it aside and thought it'll get better. And then as the years went on, the thinning became more progressive, and again, like I didn't really do anything about it. I just hoped that it would get better naturally, or just it wouldn't get worse, and just kept putting it off. And with that though, my self-esteem started becoming more of an issue with my hair, and I became a little bit more paranoid. Like when the wind would blow, I started to see in pictures, like at a wedding, everyone I could see, I would like zoom in and see like the areas that were thinning. And so I started to become, for myself, more stressed about the hair loss.
Stressed and obsessed, right?
Stressed
because we
and
always
obsessed.
think that little things that we don't like about ourselves, everybody's looking at it and everybody's like staring, right? Because yeah, you notice little changes, but probably most people wouldn't notice at that time.
And no girlfriend, I never talked about it with my girlfriends or my doctor, because like I was embarrassed as a woman. And also, even just with my girlfriends, I think I would have been mortified at that time to talk about it with them, because also talking about it makes it real. And by saying it out loud, I have hair thinning or hair patches or loss, then you are acknowledging that it is really happening. And I think that that's the point where maybe about a year ago or 2 years ago, I finally started saying out loud to myself that I am experiencing thinning, and that became like a truth. And so
and we just talked about it, and anytime you mention something to your friends, even to your doctor, what do they say? It still looks okay.
Yeah, it's not that bad. You're making a big deal out of it. You still have lots of hair. The hair you have is curly, or the worst is from like hairstylists even, well, you're lucky you have curly hair. And so you're sitting there thinking, yeah, okay, I'm lucky I have curly hair and it covers it up, but it still doesn't take away that the thinning is happening.
Yeah.
And then to research that 50% of women experience hair loss, then you think, okay, I'm not alone. So then that's like, okay, that I'm not abnormal. This is totally, I'm not alone in this. But then also you're like, okay, well, 50% of women are losing their hair. Like, why are we not talking about it?
And exactly. And not just talking about it. We were talking a few minutes ago about when you start noticing that you're losing your hair. There are different options that you should be going and checking things first before, scalp micropigmentation is great. It's a great solution for thinning and balding. It's not a cure. So I think it's very important for women to know the causes of hair loss. So we're going to just rhyme few that just come and pop into our mind. So first of all, aging. Aging is real. Our body changes just like men do, and with age we notice a little bit more hair loss that we never had before. Another one is
ferritin, so your iron stores. So when you have your general blood work done, they will look at your iron stores, which is also called ferritin, and the average the average for a woman is, the range is incredible. So it's like, I think it's like 20 points all the way up to like 2,000. So if you're anywhere in that range, no doctor is going to flag that as abnormal. But what research shows is that in order for there to be for the hair to have the optimal amount of growth and health, ferritin, your iron stores need to be at around 70 to 80 points or more. So a lot of women are in the 20 to 30 range, which I'm in, and that's very low when you're looking at optimal hair growth. And the problem I found with this is that I really had to push my doctor to give me the permission to do iron supplements, because she said, you're in the normal range, but all the research for hair growth is telling me that I need to be in the 70, 80s. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where you're going to find challenges when you're dealing with your doctors in the initial part of having the testing done. The same with hormones.
Yeah, I just wanted to go backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
If you notice anything, insist that you have some testing done. Check your blood for hormonal changes. Check your blood for vitamin and mineral deficiencies. Sometimes it's easier to catch it when it's just beginning and stop it and maybe take some supplements, and hopefully some of the hair is going to grow back.
Because if I had done that, if I had been more aware, I would have done all of the testing for the hormones, the iron stores, overall, just like all of your vitamin deficiencies can be tested. And had I done that in my 20s, maybe I wouldn't have had so much hair loss now. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is.
Yeah. So let's go back to the causes. Another one, hormonal changes. So anytime your hormones are spiking up or down, it could be monthly changes, it could be childbirth, pregnancy, again, with getting older, menopause, anything and everything that includes hormonal changes can affect your body, can affect your hair loss also. And many women will notice that they're losing more hair during that time. And again, go back to your doctor, ask them if there's anything that you could take supplements for, or anything that you can do to stop your hair loss. If the doctor doesn't have the answers, ask to go to a dermatologist and find your answers. Don't wait until it's too late, until you're so thin and you have patches of hair that is missing.
And one other thing too, with something that you can do like on your own right away, is I like to use a food tracking app, and I like to keep score of my basic macros, which are fat, carbohydrate, and protein. So many women do not get enough protein on a daily basis, both from animal and plant-based protein sources. So looking at that, for many years, I thought I was eating well, and I was not getting nearly enough protein. If you Google like what an average woman should be receiving in protein a day, it's not nearly enough for hair, promoting hair growth, especially as you're saying, as we age, we need to offset these hormonal changes, so we need to up the protein and make sure we're getting enough. And
like we talked before, protein, a lot of women and young girls actually try to go vegan. They try to avoid animal protein, right? They go with
me. I'm pretty much plant-based, but I've changed that now.
Yeah, if you see that your body is reacting in a negative way, maybe that's not the way to go. Maybe that's or maybe you're not substituting enough protein in your diet to have a healthy level in there.
Because hair loss, when the body is not receiving enough protein or other nutrients, your other vitamins and minerals, the body doesn't care if you have hair on your head. So it will save those nutrients for all the other important organs and functions of your body, and will not grow hair because you don't need it to survive. So the body's very smart, and to maintain homeostasis.
Can we tell them what you do for a living?
I'm a bartender and a nutritionist.
So nutritionist, she knows everything about nutrition, how it affects the body. So she has the education behind that, behind that research, and obviously from the experience, she knows that protein is very important and
but I'm a prime example.
Exactly.
I'm a prime example of somebody, and this is like back to what we started with. I know all of this information, but because hair loss for women is so taboo and nobody wants to talk about it, I denied myself all of that information because I didn't want to deal with the original stress, which was the hair loss. So it is not ironic, but unfortunate that I had the information, but was too kind of scared to explore it because I was so ashamed of my hair loss. But here we are.
And also, another reason a lot of people are losing hair, and male and female, is stress. It's stress related. We all have stresses in our lives. At some point, it's higher than the other points. Try to control that. I know it's easier said than done. But yes, you will definitely notice a lot of hair loss during that time, and sometimes it grows back, sometimes it doesn't. So try to sleep enough hours in a day, try to eat healthy, hydrate your skin, hydrate yourself, and meditate, take some time off to get back to normal where you used to be, instead of, getting more and more stressed. And then it's almost like a chain reaction, right? Because when you're stressed, and then you start losing your hair, you even stress more, because now it's like, what's happening to me? Like, why am I losing the hair? And what can I do about it?
It's just exasperated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if the hair loss is not severe enough that the doctor is actually going to step in, you know your body the best. Like, if you know that, yes, my hair was really, really thick and now I have half of it, even though, you show it to somebody and somebody says, oh yeah, you still have enough. You still have enough, right? Or you still have lots. That doesn't mean that, that's the answer to the questions, because obviously that it's only half of whatever you used to have. So there is a problem. Usually it's internal. Like I said, go to the doctor, go to the dermatologist, get your blood work done, hormone levels checked, stress under control.
Oh, and as far as the stress, something as simple as supporting your adrenal glands. So we all live stressful lives and the hustle bustle, and you can do some more research as far as adrenal fatigue. But basically, your adrenal glands are responsible for your stress hormones, and when your adrenal glands become exhausted, which a lot of ours are, the only way to really help support them is through supplementation. And so that's another thing, like having an awareness as far as the right supplementation to take, because I know that I often would Google hair loss pills, and I know better that those supplements are not going to necessarily address the underlying issue. They will make your hair, the hair that you have, nice. Your nails might look nice, but it's not necessarily going to, I can just promise you that it's not one pill that is going to correct the hair loss. It
Especially
really
if the problem is still in your body and it still continues, right?
Yeah.
So things like keratin, iron, protein, all that stuff helps. PRP, which is the platelet-rich plasma injections, will help sometimes, but not for everybody. It again depends on the severity of your hair loss. And scalp micropigmentation, it's, like I said before, it's a little solution, right? It's
for me
definitely gonna help, but it's not a cure. It's
not a cure, but I'm so confident about this. All my friends think I'm crazy to be doing this, but for me, I know, like you've said repeatedly, the stress issue, and how stress will cause more hair loss, or at least if you're constantly stressed about your current hair loss, then you're not going to have any reprieve, and you're going to continue to experience it, because the stress is just going to like a snowball effect. So the reason for me SMP is a good solution to deal with the spiritual, emotional aspect is that it's going to provide me with some self-esteem so that I can carry on and continue to do, to figure out what it is that's going on internally.
Yes, and also it is permanent, so you don't have to worry about when blowing and the fibers are coming off, or some makeup that is gonna wash out in the rain, or when you jump into the swimming pool, right? So
for me, the added density is not a ultimate solution, but for me, adding the density through the SMP I know is going to give me the confidence that I can go swimming, or just like the basic activities where normally I'd be taking a picture with my phone to see, okay, how thin is it here or there. I know that it's going to just create that little bit of a blanket, so that I
less,
can...
and it actually reduces the contrast between the color of the scalp and the hair. So
I think it's going to really help with my stress levels.
So we're doing this video to basically create a little bit of awareness, because men have been talking about balding and thinning and losing their hair for years and years and years. I have been noticing that more and more women are calling for density or SMP treatments on them. So I believe that there is going to be an issue for women who are thinning and balding also, and then there is more and more of them coming out and talking about it and looking for solutions. So thanks for watching, and we're going to take some pictures of before and after, and I'll be posting them as we go. So can we take a little close-up maybe? So we could probably see that, like I said, she used to have really, really nice, thick hair. There's lots of hair in there, but obviously it's bothering her. The area here at the front is still growing nice and strong, but the top is thinning a little bit, and the sides are thinning also. So we're going to be doing SMP just to add a little bit more density and a little bit of color to the scalp. And hopefully she's going to feel so much better about herself and not worry about it when she's going out.
Yes.
Thank you.